Production.
All right, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Ryan the Professional back again with another video. All right, so before I go ahead and get into the topics, let me shout out the fellows real quick of the RGT podcast. Shout out to Foxy Games UK, Craig Harris, Carlos Fernandez, and Ian Roberts. Man, we had a good time as always. Definitely go check it out if you missed it, man. It's always a good time to be on the RGT podcast. Man, good times. Definitely a good time. And you guys are an amazing audience as always, so I do appreciate you guys. I really do. Now, get into this topic. So if you did not hear, PlayStation has officially jumped up in terms of brands in the UK. Sony is now officially ranked number 3 in the UK. And last year, they were ranked number 9. Now they're number 3. In terms of the US, their ranking is sitting at number 13, whereas the Xbox One is sitting at rank number 25. So Sony has done a phenomenal job so far in the market. And it's pretty obvious. They just launched a mega seller with the Spider-Man game, and they've just been, doing a phenomenal job with the hardware ever since 2013. So it makes sense that this console continues to do, the accolades that it's continuing, to pretty much rack in, right? It continues. Again, it's going to take a lot for Sony to really screw up something as simple as the PS5 coming off of this success. But man, they have done a phenomenal job with the PS4, and it's going to be very interesting to see where they take the PlayStation brand now as they go into the PlayStation 5. That's really going to be interesting. Yeah, definitely. But hey, congratulations to Sony, and hopefully we'll see more, because you already know we got more bangers coming anyway. We got next month, we got Red Dead Redemption, and we got, what was it? I think it was Call of Duty and Assassin's Creed, right? So we got those, and we got Days Gone coming out in February. I mean, there's a lot of games coming out. So, and of course, 2019, you have the rumored Ghost of Tsushima, and you have The Last of Us Part 2. So, again, a lot of games to choose from, and hey, good time to be a gamer, people. Good time to be a gamer. Now let's get into one of the meat and potatoes of this video. Some people hit me up on the RGT podcast, or I'm sorry, when we went off the air, basically. Some people hit me up and was like, Ron, how come you didn't really talk about this? Like, you didn't really give your opinion all the way on this topic. And that was this Nintendo Switch Online check-ins. And I didn't really give my opinion on it. I basically just, asked the guys what they thought about it. And they pretty much said the same thing I was about to say. I mean, it's very simple. Nintendo Switch is going to do weekly check-ins for the NES games. Okay, now keyword, just the NES games. It's not really a big deal to me. I'm gonna tell you why it's not a big deal to me, and really it shouldn't be a big deal to you. You don't really own the NES games. Now, it would have been different if you actually had these like on disc or something like that, right? And then you had to check in. See, that would be pushing the Xbox One category. And that's where another thing we need to touch on too. A lot of people are comparing this to the Xbox One at the start. The Xbox One at the start, this is how it worked, okay? For those that all of a sudden have karma, or, don't have memory, right? Okay. When it comes to the Xbox One, it didn't matter whether you owned the disc or you did not. You still had to connect online to register your product, and you had to make sure that your product was still a functioning key, regardless of you owned the product or not, regardless if you downloaded it straight from the store or bought it at your retail store. That was Microsoft's idea and ideal way of getting rid of the used games market. That's what they wanted to get rid of, okay? This is not the same. Microsoft basically told you that you do not own anything regarding your Xbox product. You don't own the system. You don't own the games. You don't even own the accessories. That's basically what Microsoft was telling you, okay? They didn't care what you did with the console, but as far as your games, oh yeah, they were dictating how you played and how you used those games and how you behaved in the ecosystem and surrounding video games. That's how they were doing it. In terms of Nintendo and this, again, this only affects the NES games. And these games are old, and you don't really own them to begin with. It's not that big of a deal with this, okay? It's not. But I will tell you this, though. There is only one small gripe I have with this whole situation, and it's really a major one. If you use the cloud saves on the Nintendo products, right? If you use their cloud saves with this service, you will lose all your data if the subscription runs out. That right there is the most bullshit thing I've seen all day. That's the only thing I do not like. I don't like that whatsoever. The DRM thing, okay, sure, you can have that, because let's be real here. For those of you that might say, wait, why are you saying it's okay? This is Nintendo. Nintendo wants to dictate how they use their games, right? They don't want you to stream their games. They don't want you to play their games on YouTube unless they're getting compensated for it. That's how they feel. Hence why a lot of these YouTubers sign these little agreements where they allow Nintendo to take a good chunk of their profits from the YouTube channel, X amount of things, whatever, right? And they'll allow their games to be played on that channel. Hence why you see some channels that, that you really would like to see do like long playthroughs of certain games, like not NES, but like Nintendo classic games, right? Like Super Mario Bros. And whatnot. You see a lot of these channels, they don't even bother doing that. A lot of these channels either, upload other games for long playthroughs, and you'll see them have like ads and all that. You don't see that in Nintendo games, because Nintendo dictates how many ads they want shown on that video and how many ads they want that, character to have. And that's how they are. Nintendo just doesn't care. They want it, their characters to have, basically they want the lock on that character. There you go. That's the best way I'm saying. I know I'm all over the place because that's how Nintendo operates. Nintendo just doesn't care. Nintendo is just stubborn. There you go. That's the best word to summarize Nintendo. Stubborn and ignorant at times. Okay? There you go. But again, as far as the online storage thing, yeah, that's the only problem I have with it. I'm not, okay with that. I'm going to tell you why I'm not okay with that. Not even Sony or Microsoft does that with PS Plus or Xbox Live Gold. Neither company does that. Okay? So that's it. That's the only problem I have with the service. And it's kind of sad that they did this and they didn't even bother on, doing like a public, announcement of this and to further explain this or do a better job explaining this, and showing that they quote unquote care. Instead we're getting rumors and we're getting leaks of a Labo 2, but we're not getting no actual like care from Nintendo in terms of being upfront with you about this whole, yeah, okay, we're going to do DRM for our NES games, but as far as your cloud storage, yeah, you can kiss that goodbye if your subscription ends out. That's the only thing I don't approve of with Nintendo. I don't. Nintendo's better than this. We all know Nintendo's better than this, but will they change? No. Because they seem to get away with everything. They really do. And I do agree with certain people. The attitude towards this whole situation in terms of DRM is concerned, a lot of people jumped to Nintendo's defense, even though it's not very similar to Microsoft's at the start. It's not. But a lot of people jumped, towards Nintendo's side, started defending them. It's like, dog, some things you just cannot defend a company for. And losing your save slots and your saves and all that after a subscription ends is ludicrous. I'm not a fan of that. And the fact of the matter is this: why are you paying for online if the service is most likely not even going to be on par with PSN, which is free on the PS3? I'm talking about the PS3 version of PSN. If it's not going to be on par with the PSN version of the PS3 version, PSN, then what's the point of even buying this? Especially when you don't even have proper voice chat. I mean, what's the point? You still need your phone and all this. So just throwing it out there. That's my only gripe I have for the situation. It could have been done better, and I think it should be done better at the end of the day, but that's Nintendo for you. If you guys liked the video, definitely hit that like button. I do appreciate it. Subscribe if you are new. Stick around. Why don't you? And you can follow me on Twitter at RyanThePro55. But that's all I got to say, man. Nintendo is Nintendo. Nintendo will always do what Nintendo does. And, yeah, not much else that needs to be said on this matter, okay? So hopefully you guys enjoyed. Y'all be blessed. Y'all be easy. And I'm out of here, people. Deuces.